Yes, guys, let's go for more exercises. And this exercise 2, you have seen that we checked the even number and odd number, so we now can see that how we could process, or we could check the number whether it's an even or odd. So today I'm going to be doing something again almost similar, but it should give you the idea. By now I'm sure you are getting used to write programs, and let's try the program, which is x3 as always. And then let's create a simple calculator. Just what I'm thinking, maybe we should create a simple calculator or something like that. So let's see if someone asks, or we create a program that asks like, what is 2 times 2? Then if the user type 4, then give us true. When the user type something which is not correct, then it should give us false. So our program should be able to check what users typed and calculate and compare the answer between the user and the program's answer. You understand? Just like a calculator or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking of doing today. So first of all, we need a main method. Which is public main, and you can see the more I type, the more I get used to typing. If you don't type, then forget it. So now I may just start with the variables, because all the time I write variable a later time, but today let's see. And I'm going to deal with integers, so I'll type my variables. Comments are very important, guys. So these are my variables, and I'll mention maybe number 1. I want to deal with number 1, and you don't have to initialize your variables. In some other programming languages you have to initialize, but by default this is 0, is initialized by 0. And if it's true or false, is initialized to null, or if it's an object, you can whatever, but this is 0 by default. If you don't do that, then it's initialized by 0. So int number 2, and then int number 3, and so on. See, these are variables. If I need more variable later on, I will just add them here. You can either use this variable, type the variables here and use them later, or you can use them in direct. For example, if you don't type here, you can just start with int number, then blah blah blah. But in this case, I will be using this number because I have my variables ready. I can use this number 1 anywhere I want within our program, within this method here. So another thing that we need a scanner as always. If you want to get some data from the keyboard, scanner should be ready. And then our scanner, you can just use any variable, but I normally like to use this input is new scanner system.in, and then Control Shift O, import our class which is here. And then down here, now I can use the number 1. This is what I meant. Number 1 is equal to I want to get the number, random numbers, and these numbers, it's just that the program can just bring anything. We are not aware of what the program is going to bring. Like, for example, it may ask what is 1 plus 2, or what is 3 plus 6, but we need to make sure that the numbers are not going above 10, like within 1 to up to 10, or 1 to 9. You understand? So what I can use the current time milliseconds. It's a method which I'm going to use the system system. For example, this system class, this is a class, and you can call, if you read about this system, then you can have like documentation about this system. It's like system class contains several useful class field and methods. It cannot be instantiated, right? So I'm going to use system to call the current time milliseconds, and I'm going to make sure that I maybe get a module of 10 so that I get the number within below 10. Understand? So I want to deal only with numbers with only one decimal, yeah, like one digit. So what I'm going to do here, I have to make sure that if you want to have 1, 2, 3, that means those are integers. So I have to concatenate the integer to the number that I'm receiving from the current time milliseconds to integer. So how do we do that? We just have to type int. This is how you concatenate. You should remember this, guy. So this int into bracket, then you also put the brackets the other number, that these random numbers you're receiving from this current milliseconds, and then we can, it's a module of 10 so that we get the only one digit. We don't want 2 digit. This 10 means we want only one digit, you see. So this is number 1, right? So we need to get another numbers. So number 2 and number 3. Okay, sorry, I just type this as number 2. So but these numbers, they shouldn't be the same, because if you run like this, these numbers are going to be the same all the time. Like if 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 6 plus 6. So we need to find a means of changing these numbers so that all these numbers are completely different. So how do we do that? We can just use any number. Like for example, let's say we can multiply the number, these numbers with something else. Let's say, for example, we can put, let's say, another bracket here so that it become easy for us to work with this. Sorry. And then I can multiply by 3, let's say, and then we do the same thing here, so that when we get the same number but we multiply with different numbers, then we get different values, times maybe 7. So these 3 numbers are going to be completely different when we when the program asks us like what is 2 plus 3, 2 plus 4. So they're going to be completely different. In some case they may just be the same, but not all the time. Okay, now that we have this, we need to ask the user now. System.out.println, and then ask the user what is, you concatenate plus, let's say number 1, number 1 times, we can use maybe either can be number 1 times so number 1, let's put concatenate times number 2 times number 3, and then we add the question mark, let's say. This question mark, so this is the question. So but we need to get the, maybe we should also put the int here, answer, and then we put our answer. Our answer should be input dot, use this input here, dot next int scanner. Okay, so this is the answer that we receive from the keyboard that the user are going to type. But what about the answer that we want our program to give us? So we have to put system the print line, so we may say that we may repeat this. Let's say this. Yeah, you can just type, but I'm just trying to save time. Number 1 times number 3 times number 2 times number 3. Remove this, so it should be equal, so you can just put again, should be equal to number 1 times number 2 times number 3 should be equal to answer. And again, this has to be into brackets, and then Control Shift, and then you format, Control Shift F, and then let's try to run this program again. So now you see what I meant, like what is 1 times 3 times 7. So if you type, like, let's say this is 11, this should be, so this is false, because 1 times 3 times 7 is not 11. Okay, let's try to run this program again. Okay, now let's try to figure out to write the correct answer. 6 times 8 is 48, and 48 times 2 is 96. Let's see if I'm right. So it's true, you see. So actually this has to give an answer either is equal to the answer, the answer then give us true or false. But anyway, this is the concept of this program. So this program is like a simple calculator whereby you can do the simple mathematics. Thank you guys, but remember that you can either use other methods like a random number. You can either use other methods of making the random numbers, or even there is a random class or random methods you can use to generate the random numbers. Thank you guys for your time, and remember to subscribe, and bye bye.